Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. The energies lately have been very, very strong in so many ways. Many downloads are coming in. Many of us may be going through a deep, deep, deep upgrade. Also, spiritual fatigue. So, some of you guys may be processing a lot of things. So, it's part of the journey. The purging, tiredness will also be part of it. So, get a lot of rest and then you'll be refreshed. All right. So, today we enter into a conversation that most people will never hear spoken aloud. We're going to talk about our divine masculine's secret longing, the unspoken truths he carries but rarely, if ever, admits. So, this is not about fantasy projection or wishful thinking. This is about decoding the spiritual architecture of his hidden desires, the longings that live underneath his silence, and the truths he guards because it terrifies him. All right, what you will see today is that behind every mask, behind every denial, behind every retreat, there is a sacred fire of desire, of yearning, of longing that he cannot extinguish. So get ready to unlock the unspoken. This isn't about his desires, it's about gaining profound insight into the very essence of his spiritual journey. So discover the concealed aspects of his longing and transform your understanding of his authentic self, creating a deeper connection than you thought possible. So stop guessing what your divine masculine is truly feeling. There are hidden truths and secret longings residing within him that you're about to uncover. So that's why today's video is all about cutting to the core, illuminating your divine masculine, our divine masculine authentic self, and giving you the clarity you've been searching for right now. So let's crack the code, the unspoken longings. So, our divine masculine, our beloved divine masculine, often goes through a lot, and the spiritual awakening of our beloved divine masculine isn't always obvious. He often resists, suppresses, or even mocks what he feels, yet his soul speaks in whispers. So, some of the subtle signs of his awakening would be sleepless nights, sudden anger at nothing, suddenly being upset with you, or deep signs when he thinks no one is watching, withdrawing from material pleasures that used to satisfy him. These are not random, they are signals of an inner ache he doesn't understand. So, this is why he goes beyond material success. Outwardly, he may chase career, money, status, recognition, but inwardly, what he truly craves is something the world cannot give: soul fulfillment, peace in his chest, a love that feels eternal rather than transactional. So that's why he needs to encounter a lot of societal pressure versus what his soul is whispering to him. So literally, our divine masculines are trapped between who he is expected to be, the provider, achiever, rational man, and who is called to be, awakening, authentic, a surrendered soul. His longing is born from this war inside of him. Every denial you have heard, I'm not ready, I'm not interested, is him translating soul level longing into soul level resistance. So that's the reason why our divine masculine wears masks, the masks, the mask of confidence, the mask of indifference, the mask of casualness. But the truth is, masks are exhausting, you know, and that exhaustion from pretending, he's so tired of hiding behind jokes or intellectual armor. His longing is to shed the mask because he doesn't yet know if he will survive without them. And then that yearning for self expression, he secretly longs for a space where he can speak the raw truth without judgment, even if it makes him look weak. He wants to express grief, tenderness, even dependency, but the world never gave him the permission. So, our role becomes very, very, very significant. When we see through his masks and respond not with criticism but with compassion, we become the mirror that shows him it is safe to be real. So, we are not responsible for our divine masculine's healing, but our resonance is shifting. This longing for authenticity is not just about you, it is about his entire soul journey. You are simply the soul, simply the part of the soul that triggers it most powerfully. And that's why, as divine feminines, we may ask, does he only want me physically, or does he not want me at all? Here's the truth: the physical desire is real, but it is a doorway to something far deeper. And looking deeper into the soul level bond, his longing is not just for intimacy, it is for dissolution of loneliness. It is the craving to merge with another soul, which is you, of course, so fully that his inner wall collapses. So, in other words, he's yearning to become full, because he's looking for you, the other half of his soul. So that's why spiritual evolution plays a huge role at this juncture, because his desires is not just a partner that he gets to wake up to, but someone like you, his divine feminine, a partner in awakening, not a partner just to sleep with, a partner, not a partner just to, category one, karmic detour situations. So that's why he doesn't need a woman who sees him for his paycheck, but someone who can see him as a soul in evolution, right? So subtle communication. He tries to subtly communicate. He may not say this, but you will feel it in the way his eyes linger, the way he returns again and again and again after retreating, the way he unconsciously mirrors your energy. These are the ways his deeper longing leaks through. The thirst for connection is not weakness, it is his soul's rebellion against the numbness of surface level life. So, every divine masculine carries wounds: past trauma, abandonment, mother wounds, father wounds, failures in love. And here's the truth: his deepest longing is not just union with you, but for wholeness within himself. He hides his pain under busyness, sarcasm, anger, or withdrawal, yet secretly he craves a place where these wounds can breathe. So he's kind of longing for emotional safety, a space where he won't be judged for crying, doubting, or breaking down. He may never say this aloud, but his soul aches for it. That's why our support as the divine feminine is so crucial. Even though we cannot heal our divine masculine totally, you know, but you can hold steady boundaries and compassion, and this combination is what gives him permission to face himself. And when you sense his longing for wholeness, you realize that his silence is not rejection, it is his soul wrestling with whether he's ready to heal. And at his core, the divine masculine has an innate drive to matter, not just succeed but to impact. Beyond all of that, he longs to live a life aligned with higher purpose, a mission that is not just about survival or status, but contribution to the whole. Even if he never admits it, he dreams of being remembered for something meaningful, like creating an app or making a mark in the world, of really like leaving the world more whole than he found it. So when you support his purpose, not by sacrificing yours but by standing in alignment with your own, you ignite a synergy. His longing for impact becomes fulfillment, not only for him but the union itself. And this is why the twin flame journey is not about romance alone. His longing for purpose is part of the shared mission. So why, your question may be, why does he hide all of this? Shame. He feels unworthy of being loved this much. So much fear. Surrendering to the longing feels like collapse. Programming, so much programming, society having told him longing makes him weak. all of that. But here's the paradox: the longing is what saves him. It erodes his masks. It burns away his false self. It forces him into awakening. His secret longing is his soul's prayer to God disguised as a desire for you. So that's the reason why stop guessing what your divine masculine is truly feeling. These are hidden truths and secret longings within him, and this discourse is hopefully unlocking them for you. That's why today we are really, really, really trying to dissect this. Like, what is actually going on? What does our divine masculine truly crave for? you know and you see, the unspoken truths he carries that he admits, this is, you see, he's so longing to be with you, to feel you, to see you, is so profound that he needs the time to face himself during separation. That's why behind every mask, behind every denial, behind every retreat, there's a sacred fire of desire, of yearning, of longing that he cannot let go of. So that's why cracking the code of the unspoken, the spiritual awakening of our divine masculine isn't always obvious. He doesn't come to you and say, I'm awakening. Instead, it leaks out in subtle ways, like I mentioned earlier. The nights that he doesn't sleep, sudden bursts of frustration that you feel in the combined energy fields that don't make sense at all, because you're like, I don't feel angry. Where is this frustration coming from? That deep sign when he thinks no one is watching, the way that the things once satisfied him, money, material success, recognition, they all feel hollow. And these aren't random, these are the whispers of his soul, but they are pointing to a deeper, deeper truth, that what he truly longs for is not success in the world's eyes, but fulfillment of being with you. Yet he lives in a constant tug of war, like I wanted to emphasize this further. Societal pressure to be the man the world expects, strong, rational, provider, composed, calm, perfect, best. Typically a robot. And on the other hand, his soul is asking me, hey, your divine feminine is here. So there's so much more. There's love that can help you. There's truth that will make you whole. And then his 3D self tells his 5D self that is not ready, and this isn't going to work. Or he would tell you straight away that he will never, ever, ever, ever speak to you again, because you just annoy his fields so much, that your very existence annoys the hell out of him, that he just doesn't want to see you, be with you. He doesn't want you at all. And just think about it. If someone has got so much of frustration towards you, or anger towards you, or like, usually people usually don't block people. People would usually just let it go. But when your divine masculine actually blocks you, that's how much you affect his field, right? That's why our divine masculines wear masks. The masks of indifference, the mask that they don't care, the mask that you're not good enough for them, the masks of control. But here's the truth. These masks are exhausting him. He's tired of pretending. He's tired of always being the one who knows, the one who leads, the one who hides his emotions under a calm exterior. His longing is for authenticity, to finally shed the masks and be himself. But you see, that is the paradox, isn't it, that I've been talking about. Our divine masculine wants to take the mask off, but he doesn't know if he will survive without them. He secretly longs for a space where he can be himself, where he can speak the truth, where he can talk to you, to your higher self most of the time, where he can admit weakness, where he can express grief or tenderness without judgment. And in many ways, you're the only one who can see through him. That both terrifies him and calls him closer, because every time you don't attack the mask, but instead meet it with compassion. You become the catalyst for his true self to emerge. You become the change that helps him to emerge. You're not responsible for his healing. We never are. But, we do assist our divine masculine. That's why I do offer, couple healings. But your ability to see him have the potential to awaken and to see him through awakening as well. But at the same time, we are going through the awakening ourselves. That's why, many of you guys ask me, is it just physical? Does he only want me in this way? Or does he hate me so much? Why? My answer is, of course, there is a physical desire. Absolutely, there is. But the issue is, he is not able to admit it, you see. And it's not the full truth either. His longing goes beyond your body. Of course, he wants every part of you. But what he truly aches for is what the physical union represents. It represents the end of his loneliness. It represents the collapse of his inner walls. It represents the connection at a soul level that no casual relationship or one night stand or people he meet at clubs and bars or random connections that he bumps into or business connections that he meets or, you know, anything that he's trying to do. The thing is, no karmic partner could ever give him what the divine feminine can. So he longs for you, you know. He longs for you in so many ways, because he doesn't want a partner who just shares his bed or, like I mentioned earlier, he wants you, a partner who sees him for him and a partner who will admire his strengths. And his thirst for the connection with you is not weakness, it's a rebellion. It is his soul saying that I'm done with this surface level life. I want depth, I want meaning. And he wants you, but he's just not ready to anchor it yet. But here's where it gets complicated, right? Like I was mentioning, every divine masculine carries wounds. A lot of wounds: past life, galactic, abandonment, mother wounds, father wounds, failures in love. And his deepest longing is not only to be with you wholly, but he wants wholeness within himself. So he hides his pain, under busyness, under the context that he is, even sarcastic, sometimes cruelty, when he says things like blocking you or not wanting to speak to you or anything like that. But beyond all that is a secret longing for a place where these wounds can finally breathe. His hidden truth is that he craves emotional safety, a place where he won't be judged for breaking down, for crying, for being vulnerable. He may never say this, but his soul is desperate for it. And this is where your role becomes paradoxical. There's only this much you can do. But as the divine feminine, our steadiness, our ability to hold both compassion and boundaries creates the space where he's able to be himself again. You see where I'm going with this? Creates the space where he's safe enough to face himself at the same time. And that is what his soul longs for. His silence is not rejections. His distance is not absence of care. It is him wrestling with whether he's ready to finally face the parts of himself he has avoided his entire life. So at his core, our divine masculine as another secret longing purpose, because beyond love, beyond intimacy, beyond comfort, he longs to matter. He wants to make an impact. He longs to contribute something that shifts the world. See. And here's what's extraordinary, when we stand fully in our purpose without abandoning ourselves for him, we actually ignite his passion. So when we are connecting to the third energy, and in category 2, the still flame, my own experience, when I started doing my serving my purpose, he just came back, just like that. Same thing, when you are like so in your creative space, anchoring in alignment, and shifting the focus from him, you actually ignite your divine masculine's purpose as well. So that's why you become the reminder for the purpose, that it's not about duty, it's about alignment. And when he sees you aligned, his longing for impact finds its mirror. Suddenly, it's not about him anymore, it's about the both of you. And the union feel amplifies his purpose and gives it meaning. And now, why does he hide all of this? Why does he have to cover up his longing with silence, rejections, or indifference? The answer is shame. He feels unworthy of being loved by you, someone who is so luminous. And the answer is fear. He's terrified if he surrenders to this longing, he will collapse. He will lose his identity, his stability, his image. And the answer is programming to the core, which I mentioned earlier. Society taught him that longing makes him weak. That to need a woman, this much is not right. It's humiliation, that vulnerability is failure. So instead of admitting the longing, he hides it. But here's the paradox of all paradoxes: it is the longing itself that saves him. His longing is the very thing that erodes the mask. It is the fire that burns away the false self. It is the magnet that keeps pulling him back to you. No matter how he tries to run, longing is not weakness. Longing is initiation. Longing is how the soul drags him back to truth. So that's why if you're sitting here, if you are feeling a lot of doubt, and when you are crying because of his silence, his rejection, his mean words, his I never, never talk to you again, and when you feel erased from his world, I want you to just remember this. Behind every denial, there is a divine masculine on his knees before his own soul, aching for the one thing he cannot deny. And his secret longing is for you. His hidden truth is that you're not optional, not replaceable, not a face. You are the sole key to his awakening, the mirror of his authenticity, the partner of his purpose. And one day, the longing will do what it's always meant to do. It will break him open. Not because you chased him, not because you begged him, not because the fire of longing itself will dismantle his ego and reveal his soul. And when the day comes, you will see clearly he never ignored you, he never forgot you. He was secretly longing for you all along. And with that, I hope you resonate with this discourse. And if you guys want to work one-on-one with me, you can book via my website. All my sessions are conducted by me live via video call, via Zoom. And I can book you into it. I will give you the earliest available spot, usually within 24, 48, 78 hours. With that, I've introduced 3 amazing healings last night. Do check them out. They are highly, highly recommended. Check them out in the description. With that, I'll see you all again with another discourse. Bye bye.